Hello, everyone, to Your Life But Easier podcast. Today, I am very pleased to have Martha with me. Martha lives in Kenya. Is that correct? Kenya. And
Yes,
I invited Martha because we had recently in our German how do you say, in our German webinar about the three principles, we had Martha as a guest, and I heard her story, and I thought it would be something really interesting to share here in my group. So Martha is in Kenya, so I do already in advance apologize if there is some kind of delays or if the sound is not perfect. Here it's not about perfection, it is really about something deeper, what we're talking about. So try to put everything to side, what you think you already know, what you think, how it works, and I invite you to just listen and see the feeling that comes up with you, something new developing inside of you. Right, enough of me. I give over to Martha. Martha, thank you so much for doing this podcast with me. It's a real privilege to have you here. And thank you for coming and sharing your story, how you came to the principles, what changed in your life. So, through this three principle paradigm understanding.
thank you very much. I'm very happy to share my healing journey with the three principles because the three principles have really changed my life. I can't imagine that I found my inner happiness, and happiness is free because before that, my life was in darkness, full of sadness. I could, I didn't love myself, fighting suicidal thoughts every day. And my life was, I had nothing to smile. And the three principles have really changed my life. And I would like to thank Harry Dabitsky for introducing the three principles in Africa. Yeah. And I lost my dad. When I lost my dad, it was a very shock to us because my dad was the breadwinner in my family.
Mhm.
And we could not believe that he's gone because he was the breadwinner. So after his burial, my mother called me in her room and told me these words: "My daughter, this amount was left for your father's burial by the community. I want you to go to the city to look for a job so that you can support us here at home." When I looked at my mother's face, tears were rolling down her cheeks. She could not control her tears. And because I wanted to make her happy, I agreed to go to the city to look for the job. The next morning, I woke up, I got ready. My mother and I went to my father's grave and we prayed as I left to the city. It was my first time going to the city. I left with so much hope that I will support my mother and my siblings because I'm the firstborn. And everyone was looking at me and they had so much great hopes in me. I went to the city It was during my search job that I was raped and I got pregnant. When I could look back at my mother back at home, my mother had very great hopes in me. That's oh my God. I was so depressed, and every day I had negative thoughts because I saw myself as unlucky to live in this world because I felt I'm unlucky. Every day I could fight suicidal thoughts. I was depressed, full of sadness. I was I saw myself as unworthy living in this life. So one day when I was in full of negative thoughts, a thought crossed my mind, and the thought told me, Martha, you can go to your grandfather's place. So I decided to call my grandfather, and my grandfather welcomed me in his orphanage here in Homa Bay. When I walked in through the gate at my grandfather's place, I was so sad, and my grandfather could see it. He welcomed me and he prayed. The doctor had advised me that I would go through a C-section delivery because my hypertension was very high. And in Africa, going through a C-section delivery is considered as to be a weak woman. It is considered to be a bad omen. You are considered to be unlucky. You are considered that if you survive, you are considered like they see it as death. If you survive, it's a miracle. So that could put me more into sadness, and that I wished myself death. I remember when I was in theater room, I knew I was going to die. But I could ask myself, if I die, who could breastfeed this child? This child is innocent. The surgery went successful, and I came back to the orphanage. I had no friends. I could call my the friends I had, but their response were negative thoughts. I was trying to look for comfort and happiness in friends because I didn't know that I myself had the key to my own happiness. But I failed every day because I didn't find happiness outside. They could tell me, you mean you went through that? That's so dangerous. Thank God that you're alive. And they didn't know what I was going through. So I was the only one calling. They didn't call me back. I got tired because when I was calling, I was getting negative response from them. So I stopped, and I was just alone. So one day, when the baby was asleep, I was with my phone, scrolling down my phone, I came across 3P in Africa. So I, I I was interested to know what is this? Just three number and then P. What is this? And then I thought crossed up and said, you can just ask. I texted Harry and he responded positively. That is the positive response I got. So Harry sent me some teachings. I could read them and we could share every Thursday. Harry was the only friend that I had. And I couldn't wait for Thursday to reach so that I could hear his teachings. And he never talked about my problem, no. He was just teaching me about love, happiness, forgiveness. One day, he told me these words, Martha, I don't want you to listen to my words. I want you to listen for a feeling. And I started listening for a feeling. And when I did that, I had a little voice from inside telling me, Martha, happiness is free. Don't be sad. And just like magic, I found my own happiness. And this happiness that I found, I cannot explain it in words because it can only be felt within. I learned that happiness is free. The purpose of life is to be happy. And our thoughts create the world that we live in. I started letting go of the negative thoughts and seeing the positive thoughts. And my life has changed. I started loving myself. And loving others. I love my daughter because previously when I could look at her, negative thoughts were crossing my mind. But I really love my daughter now. And I learned that thought is like a paintbrush. If you dip the brush in color black, that is the color that will be on the painting. So I decided to dip my brush into a colorful paint. I've painted my life, my world, and now I'm very happy. My life has become very, very easy, and I'm very happy. Yeah. I learned that I myself have the key to my own happiness. Looking for happiness outside, you'll fail a million years because we have the happiness inside us. And we are born with that inner wisdom. I didn't know about that. And that is why I could call my friends and their response were negative. And now when I have a problem, I now go into my quiet mind. And there within me, within myself, the answer lies there. And I've always found the answer. And purity of mind is pure love. Purity of thought is pure love. Purity of consciousness is pure love. I also learned about forgiveness. I decided to forgive myself and forgive others. What happened to me, I forgave. And when I did that, I felt so relieved. I felt it's like I was carrying a big stone on my shoulders. And now I threw it away. And now I feel so relieved. Yeah. And now in the orphanage, I teach the three principles to the children. And their life has really changed.
Mhm.
They have learned about the rule of thought. They have learned about love, forgiveness. Even their performance at school have really changed. Because when they go for an exam, they throw that negative thought that this exam is difficult. I will not I will not succeed. I will not. But I tell them to have that positive thought, and their performance has really changed. Oh, thank you for these three principles.
Mm.
Yeah,
Beautiful. Martha, really beautiful how you shared that.
thank you.
Really, really beautiful. Really, thank you. Thank you. Mm. I really can hear the resilience in you, you know, and this resilience is in every one of us. And
Yeah,
when you think it's impossible, when you really think you're still in a mess of your past, you still have that resilience in you.
yeah,
And what you were saying about forgiveness, Sydney Banks was talking about that really, really beautifully. And the only one you're hurting when you don't forgive is yourself.
yeah,
Yeah. Can you tell more about that one? Because I mean, you really experienced that.
yeah. Because unforgiveness is like taking poison for another person, expecting the other person to die. You yourself, you are the one that you will be affected by that poison.
Mm,
And whenever you think of what the other person did to you, you'll be sad and you'll be full of negative thinking. So when you let go of, you forgive, you feel relieved, and yeah, you will be happy because when you don't forgive, you will be thinking of what that person did to you, and it will make you more sad and more of negative thoughts. Yeah,
mm, mm. Now, the people who will listen to this podcast, they might think, yeah, but but I have these thoughts, right? And I
yeah,
reliving my past the whole time. And when I'm reliving my past, I I don't know what to do. I don't know. I need some kind of control management or something because I have no power over these thoughts, right?
yeah, yes.
So what would you say to them?
Okay, what I can say is that every day we have 1,000 thoughts that come in our mind. We can't control the kind of thoughts that will come, but we have that free will to choose on which thought to follow. Yeah, we have that free will to choose on which thought we follow. We can't control the thoughts that will come, but we have that free will to choose on which thought to follow.
Mm.
And we have to let go of the negative thoughts. Yeah,
And you said before so beautifully, you said mind is love, consciousness is love,
yeah,
and
yeah,
is love. Love,
yeah,
pure love, unconditional love. So also neutrality, right? I always like to say that mind, thought, consciousness, these three principles, pre-existing principles, are constant, are neutral, totally.
yeah,
So that means that every thought which comes in of your past, of now, happy moments, sad moments, suicidal moments, thoughts, they're all neutral.
Yeah.
But depending what I put into these thoughts, that is creating my reality. The form I'm
Yeah.
giving that in that moment, that's creating my reality, right?
Yes.
I cannot, and I mean, I think you would agree with that. We're not always happy, not all.
Yeah.
I have moments where I'm getting totally caught up. And it's
Yeah.
absolutely fine. As human being, I have the ability to see, oh, look, I'm caught up in thought or I'm here.
Yeah.
In that moment, I can see that. I can see I'm caught up in thought. It's like the television is going and I'm looking into the television or into the radio, listening there instead of being here. I got a choice to listen to that or listen to what's just here in that moment. And here in that
Yeah.
moment is always quiet.
Yes. Beautiful sharing.
Hmm. So another question I have for you from the people that surrounds me in our asylum seeker in our refugee center. Sorry, there was someone asking a question. She also got raped, and her question was, what if you can't let that go? What if you create certain behaviors through that experience? Do you need to live with that, seeing that as the new you? Or what would you say to that?
Kindly repeat the question, please.
Yes, so she also got raped, and
Yes.
she is saying through that she created a certain new behavior about her, which she really hates, she doesn't like about her, but she feels she needs to act on that all the time in certain situation where she gets reminded. And what do you say of that behavior, what she created? Do you know something like that from you, or what would you give her on the way?
What I can say about that is that uh, she needs to be herself. Yeah, she needs to be herself. She doesn't have to be someone else. No, she just be herself. Herself. Yes.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm. And also, I think habits we create, behaviors we create, it's afterthought. So
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it's a construction about ourself we innocently created, and we think that's the new us, or that's the us in the moment, like, so like we say, I'm that person who likes pink, and somebody else comes like, yeah, but like you used to like yellow, and you say like, no, no, but I like pink now, and that's unchangeable. there is there is certain things, we um so for example, if somebody would say to us, you know you're really good in something, and somebody would say to us something about that, no, you're not good in that. So for example, you really good with children, right? And
Yeah.
you're really good with children, huh? But somebody would come and say like, you are not good with children. You would say like, yeah, and you would laugh it off and you wouldn't take that seriously, right? because you know deep down you're good with children. But
Yes.
there is some kind of insecurity with something in you, and then somebody else comes and triggers that insecurity, and you think, yeah, you need to act on that. You don't see that that is also, is I don't need to act on that. It's rubbish, it's like that has nothing to do with me. You see that as you, right? And
Yeah.
you need to
Yeah.
act on that. But also that is somehow innocently created via thought, and you believe that to be true.
Yeah.
And in that moment, when you just can see that you innocently created that and believe that to be true, in that moment, when you see that, it has no power over you anymore. Hmm. So last week was your birthday, and it was the first time you were telling me that you ever celebrated your birthday?
Yes.
What changed?
Because I didn't, because the three principles changed everything. Because when you celebrate yourself, you love yourself, and that is why you celebrate yourself. Yes. And before then, I've never celebrated my birthday. I could even forget, oh, yesterday was my birthday. Oh, I didn't know. And yeah, and after the three principles, loving myself, knowing that I need to celebrate myself for this life because happiness is free. Yeah, so I celebrated my birthday, and it was a very good feeling. The children were so happy.
Oh,
Yes,
I
and
love
also
phone
it was,
call.
thank you, and also it was the first birthday celebration in the orphanage here.
Oh my God, that's incredible. So it was everybody's birthday.
Yeah, we celebrated together. Yes.
Oh, that is so wonderful. That's
Yeah.
that's so wonderful. So how is it going to continue? So you know the birthdays of the kids, or you just have one big birthday a year, or how are you going to continue, you think?
Okay, so first of all, from my sharing in the German that I shared, the feeling touched a donor,
Hmm.
and was able to, through the feeling of love and caring,
Yeah.
yes, he supported the children with beds and mattress. So right now, the beds, they do not sleep on the floor.
Oh,
They
just
have beds and mattress.
hang on a moment. We just have a problem here with the connection. So can you just say that again? There
I
was.
say, okay, through my sharing, I shared with the German,
Yeah, with our.
and
Yeah.
through, yes, through that sharing, the feeling of love and caring touched a donor, and he he was able to provide for the children beds and mattress, and he also repaired the roof because the roof was leaking, and the children were being rained on when they are sleeping, and yeah, we got that blessing, yeah, through the sharing of love. Yeah.
That's wonderful. That's what.
And yes,
And there's still when
so
houses
through
have
through
Oh, sorry, it's interrupting. Can
sorry.
you say something? So, and there is still lots of money needed for this orphanage where Martha is working. And so, oh, Martha, are you back? Yes. You're back. And so I'm going to put a
Yeah.
link below our video here. And if you listen and you would like to give something, anything is welcome. That would be really appreciated. And we're going to send that money to over to Martha then. So I do thank you for everything
Thank you.
what you're going to donate. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Yeah. So, is there anything you would like to add? Anything you could?
I would like to add that, sorry,
So, no, you say.
the network. The network is, I couldn't hear you clear.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
The network was a bit low.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. It was really lovely. Really lovely. Yeah. Oh, thank you so much. That's really, really, really wonderful. And is there anything you could give on the way for women who are out there who were in a similar situation to you?
Okay. What I can say is that all will be well. No situation is permanent, just like our thoughts. No thoughts are permanent in our mind. Yeah. Things will just unfold themselves. Just let go of the negative thoughts. And the thoughts create the world that we live in. Just choose the paint that you want your world to be. Choose that beautiful paint and it will be magical. Yes.
Mm. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me at this podcast today, at this YouTube video. And yeah, thank you. And send my love to all the kids.
Thank you. Thank you.
Bye bye. Bye bye, everyone.